excise rates are going up by 2 rupees on petrol and diesel is that the average price, not the average, the price per cylinder of LPG will increase by 50 rupees. My expectation is that petrol prices, even if they increase beyond 60, because this is an international evolving situation, they are unlikely to go back to 75. A notification from the Ministry of Finance saying that the excise rates are going up by 2 rupees on petrol and diesel. Let me clarify upfront on the record. We've already issued a clarification from the ministry. This will not be passed on to the consumer. So now the next question is, what is going to happen to petrol prices? Because I know you guys are dying to ask me this question. Several of you have already messaged me. Look, international price of petrol came down to around $60 a barrel, $60 of crude per barrel in the last day or so. But please remember that our oil marketing companies, with whose work I'm more familiar, but even the private sector companies, they carry inventories over a 45-day period. And if you go back to, say, early January, the crude price then was $83, which came down subsequently to $75. So the crude inventory that they're carrying is at $75 on an average per barrel. So, but if your question is going forward from here, if the price remains at $60 a barrel as it is today or thereabouts, and I'm not going into the Indian basket or Brent, etc., I'm not going into that, then can you legitimately expect prices of petrol and diesel to be moderated by the oil marketing companies in keeping with the global price? To which my answer would be yes. In a deregulated sector, you can expect them to accordingly adjust the market retail price. But that's not the only reason why I've called you here. I have requested you to come because we have also had to look at some other areas for decision making. And I want to draw your attention. We'll be giving you a note. The note I'm using, I'm also going to share with you, both electronic copy and otherwise. You know, we have come a long way on LPG. There was a time when an LPG cylinder was an item which was rare, which you had to stand in a queue for, etc. When the Honorable Prime Minister assumed office,
Sir, you said below 60, below 65.
by today it's 60 or thereabout, 61 or 62. Yeah. But please let me complete, then you ask me whatever question you want. So there was a time when, you know, you had to stand in a queue to get a cylinder, you had to use influence. Today, you can actually SMS, you can also do what we call IVRS, voice call. You can send a WhatsApp message and they will deliver a cylinder to you at your residence. The total coverage of LPG for the population, it stood at around 14 crores or 140 million in 2014. That has gone up to around 33 crores or 330 million. So if you go by the yardstick that you have one cylinder per connection per household, then the entire country is covered. In fact, I would say there's more than 100% LPG coverage. In addition to that, we have an Ujjwala scheme. The Ujjwala scheme was introduced in 2016, and the Ujjwala scheme also has something like 100 million plus or 10 crore plus beneficiaries. And the advantage of the Ujjwala scheme and overall LPG connection is that today our brothers and sisters, more our sisters, they can have freedom from firewood, coal, cow dung, cakes, etc., all the traditional cooking fuels, which is not the case even in some advanced countries, where even though the country is developed, the rural countryside is still using firewood and coal, etc. Now, the LPG infrastructure in India, I just wanted to tell you, we have now gone from 55.9% LPG coverage in 2014. We have gone today to 107.4% LPG coverage. Number of bottling plants of our OMCs or oil marketing companies has gone up from 187 to 212. Number of LPG distributors in India was in 2014, we had 13,896. Today we have 25,554. The domestic LPG connections I've told you, the consumption in the country of LPG through the OMCs, it's 17.6 million metric tons. In 2014, it has gone up now to 30.4 million metric tons. Now I want to come to LPG pricing, and I think this is one of the subjects on which I wanted to have this exchange with you. The price of LPG. Now LPG is the product which comes out of a refinery. When crude oil is refined, LPG comes out, petrol and diesel are also products of refineries. The international price of LPG, which has been determined by the Saudi CP international benchmark, has been going up. It went up from 415 metric tons, dollars per metric ton to $712 per metric ton, but we never passed it on to the consumer. We kept it exactly where it is, and I think the rate of increase has been moderated and absorbed by the OMC. As a result of which, last year, the OMCs had a loss of 28,000 crores because of the LPG are keeping the price of the gas cylinder, the 14.2 kilo gas cylinder under control, providing Ujjwala subsidy. They incurred a loss of 28,000 crores. And the government, through its provisioning, through the budget, we gave them 22,000 crores back. I just wanted to give you this background. Now, more recently, on 5th October 2023, the targeted subsidy on an LPG cylinder increased to 300 rupees, which in other words, and in the effective cost of a Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana cylinder came down to about 503 rupees, and for an ordinary cylinder to 803 rupees. Now, this has resulted in a cumulative loss of 41,338 crores last year. 41,338 crores. Madam, I'll be giving you these notes also. Whatever I'm using, you will have the same information. I'm just trying to set so that you can ask me questions. As a result of which, what has happened is that the Saudi CP international benchmark rose by 63% from 385 metric tons in July 23 to $629 per metric ton in February 25. It was a 63% increase. Whereas we brought the price of Ujjwala and the cylinder down. So, you are two simultaneously competing trend. International price is going up by 63% and our price is coming down. This is what resulted in the loss for 43,000 crores. So what are we planning to do? The statistics will give you all the this thing. You compare the price of LPG cylinder in India and Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal. Even if you equalize the currencies in terms of the exchange rates, India, as I said, a normal cylinder was 803 for the normal cylinder. LPG cylinder 503. In Pakistan, it was 1,080.59. In Bangladesh, 557.81. In Sri Lanka, 1218.09. In Nepal, 1206.39. The cost of cooking gas per day for a family, average family of 4 in India, was ₹6 and 10 paise. And the cost of cooking per day in a non-beneficiary, that is somebody who is not an Ujjwala beneficiary, is 14 rupees 58 paisa. Now, by any yardstick, that's a very reasonable price. And if you look at the cost comparison with neighboring countries, I've already given you ours. The thing has come down by 23% in our price at a time when global prices were riding. Pakistan, it rose by 5.53%, Bangladesh on 1 rupee 11 paise, Sri Lanka by 10 rupees 60 paise, Nepal by 5 rupees 73, in India it's come down No, these are percentage. India, it's come down 2374. These are all percentage figures. I'm going to give them to you. Now, what has happened in Pakistan and all those countries, I'm giving you. What we have decided, therefore, is that the average price, not the average, the price per cylinder of LPG will increase by 50 rupees. In other words, from 500 it will go up to 550, and the other one will go up from 803 to 853. Now, this is a step which we will review as we go along. As it is, we review these every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And therefore, the excise duty that you have seen increase is not to go on to the consumer on petrol and diesel. As I kept telling you, that excise increase is intended to compensate the oil marketing companies for the 43,000 rupees, 43,000 crore that they have incurred as a loss on the gas part of it. Now you will say, what will happen to petrol and diesel? As I told you, the inventories that they are carrying are 45 days old. The inventories are very clearly at a much higher price. My expectation is that petrol prices, even if they increase beyond 60, because this is an international evolving situation, they are unlikely to go back to 75. And if they are in the vicinity of 60 or 65, Madam was asking this question, is it 60 or 60? Just now I think it's 61 point something. But if 62, that's 61.89 is what I heard. Even if it goes up to 65, I think the oil marketing companies will have the cushion or the, what do you call it, the bandwidth, or the headroom in order to look at price moderation, but not in the upward category, in the downward category. So I have given you a backgrounder. I'm going to give you these notes also.
So this LPG, you have said that 50 rupees have been increased.
In the LPG cylinder.
In the LPG.
Yeah. But I also wanted to tell you that what is happening in some of the non-BJP states, where the difference between a BJP state and a non-BJP state, let me give you Chennai, the difference between Itanagar and Chennai is rupees 9 and 93 paise. 9 rupees 93, nearly 10 rupees difference in the cost of a cylinder. In between Lucknow and Telangana, it is 12 rupees 76 paise. Between Gandhinagar and Bangalore, it's 8 rupees 22 paise. Between Panaji and Kerala, it's 11 rupees 5 paise. Guwahati, it's 105 rupees. The difference is 6 rupees 82. So there is a, between BJP and non-BJP states, it's a very clear difference. Today I have seen that Karnataka has raised the price. I haven't. First statement. No, I have the here. Yes, I have this notification issued by the Karnataka government dated 1st April. I only saw it today because. I'm just coming. Yes, correct. For the words and figures 18.44%, the words figure 21.17% shall be substituted. Yeah. But Karnataka, I'm not surprised. They are not stopping at fuel only. They have taken milk prices also, etc. So we leave that aside. So now, again, I want to give you the overall picture. My assessment is that as we go forward from here, international prices of gas also are expected to come down. By next year, year after, they will come down substantially. But since we are giving such a comfortable cushion to our companies, I've already told them this will be in their notes, what's happening in Pakistan, Bangladesh, all those kind of. So this 50 rupees increase per cylinder will be for the Ujjwala beneficiary, and overall for the non-Ujjwala beneficiary, it will be again 50 rupees will go up from 803 to 853. Again, this will be reviewed every 15 days or 1 month, whichever is the system. And in the case of petrol and diesel, as I said, if this trend remains, then the price is likely to be revised by them. It's a deregulated sector. They don't have to come to us.